I've spent quite some time playing Frozen Flame in the past weeks, and I can tell you this is a promising new open world survival game to look forward to, and the cool thing is it releases into early access in just 2 days. If you're a big fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild and games like Rust, this brand new adventure might very well be something for you. Hey, what's up guys, it's your man 4am again back with a new guide for Frozen Flame, in which we're gonna cover all the basics and the essentials to get started properly in the early access. We're gonna cover the combat system as well as leveling up, the cooking, the crafting, how you build your very own base, and also unlock some secrets, the best blueprints basically to get your hands on early game, so let's get right to it. Before we get started, I want to say that everything you're going to see today, all the information which I'm going to share with you guys, was recorded on a previous build of Frozen Flame, not exactly the early access build. I did, however, got an answer already that this one reflects very much what we can expect of the early access release itself. The only things they're going to change are some balance tweaks, so you can take this information as pretty accurate. Of course, if things change, I will definitely make an update video for it. Alright, so you start off your adventure in Frozen Flame in a little tutorial area, where you spawn in as a skeleton character, where you get introduced with a combat system for which you have to deal with a couple of enemies, and then you can create your first character. The character creation menu is nothing too fancy, but for an early access release, I think it already gives you plenty customization options. You can choose between gender, face details, hairstyle, hair color, as well as the eye and skin color. It's definitely enough to make your character look unique and stand out when playing with friends, because yes, you can play this game multiplayer, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, once you're done creating your character, you will spawn in the starting area, the Cradle of Keepers. On this big floating island, you will learn pretty much everything you need to know about the game, but I'm gonna make things a little bit easier by covering everything one by one. First off, we have the Gathering. So once you start exploring the vast world of Arcana, you will notice that there are many things on the floor, things you can interact with, indicating that you can either pick it up or harvest it. But simply put, pick up everything that shines, from sticks and stones for basic crafting, to fruit, vegetables and fish, which you can cook with, and at a certain point you will even come across rare ore, which you can use for advanced building. Once you've gathered your very first sticks and stones, it's time to craft a hatchet, which you can use to chop down trees, but also take down enemies a little bit easier, as of course you spawn in with bare hands, but you want to progress your way to getting a full loadout. A pickaxe for mining nodes, a hatchet for chopping down trees, a bow to shoot enemies from afar, and also some weapons if you like close quarter combat. Some items require a floor before they can be placed, and for that you want to access the building menu by pressing B by default. This gives you access to basic wooden and stone structures, while you can also use the repair tool to both construct and deconstruct structures. Simply put, the workbench will be for crafting new weapons and armor as well as repairing them. Once you've placed that one, you will unlock blueprints for a pickaxe, a club, sword, even a staff and a bow if you want to take out enemies from afar. This is also your place to be to craft your very first armor set, while you can also come across both weapons and armor in the wild. While you're gonna need a planter to grow magical plants, this, ladies and gentlemen, is very important to unlock advanced buildings. The wooden crate, however, is going to come in very handy, as right here you will be able to store a small amount of items. If you don't want to deal with durability loss or repairing your items in general, just place a roof over your head, as this will give you the shelter status. It will both keep you warm and also reduce or eliminate durability loss entirely of all the items inside your base. The combat in Frozen Flame is pretty straightforward, and you even got introduced to it at the very beginning. Your character comes with a stamina or energy bar, which depletes when you run, attack, block or parry attacks, and even more so if you perform a heavy attack when holding the left mouse button. Heavily charged bow shots will also cost a great deal of stamina, while every time when you hit an enemy, you will gain combat energy. Once your combat energy is full, you can launch a powerful attack which depletes it entirely, but also dealing a lot of damage to all your enemies. You will unlock this power at the very beginning of the game, as each time a player level is reached, you will be rewarded with 1 Frozen Flame, which can in return be spent at an altar for active and passive abilities. The more you level up your character, the more Frozen Flames you get, or talent points, which in return give you access to new passive and active abilities. After unlocking the hero's ancestry, which provides you with the possibility to use combat energy, there are 3 major paths which you can choose from. The Sword Mastery, which heavily relies on melee combat, while there is also Bow Mastery, which will be great for people who love to play with bow and arrow, while we also have Staff Mastery, the ideal path for magic. I definitely recommend you to focus on Bow Mastery early game, as this will make it so much easier to hunt wildlife and take down enemies, even bosses, from afar. This path will also give you the trained ability to get additional stamina, get even more combat energy when you dash, and also the sky jump, which I think was very useful before I unlocked the flight mode. Get your hands on hidden treasure and unlockables a lot easier, which we're gonna talk about in a second. Not only is archery a lot of fun in this game, but it also hits like a truck if you shoot enemies in the head. Be noted though that some enemies wear masks, so then it will be less effective to perform headshots, so just focus on unarmored body parts. What I really like about Frozen Flame is that the combat can sometimes be pretty challenging, and you won't always be able to make it out alive if you don't prepare for it properly. And this basically brings us to the cooking. Once you've placed a bonfire and fired up this baby with some logs, you'll be able to unlock different cooking recipes with any type of food you throw in there. You can combine meat with vegetables or go for 2 times fruit or mix things up with some poisonous mushrooms. Every time you will get a unique dish with different benefits. There are some bugs out there which add lightning resistance to your meals, while you can also throw in double meat to get some bleed resistance. I recommend you to be creative with the cooking and just throw in any type of ingredient you come across to unlock as many recipes as possible in your cookbook. For example, right here we've got the meat and fruit skewer. All the recipes you unlock will be visible in the cookbook. Depending on the dish you make, it can also take a pretty long time to finish it. For example, if you throw in fish or meat, it can take up to a full minute, which is not very nice if you just want to regain a little bit of HP. So for that, I recommend you to exclusively use fruit and veggies, and if you throw in just one of them, it will be done even faster. What's also very nice is that every time when you eat something and go above your basic HP, you will get a shield bonus of up to 50, which help a lot during combat. While there will also be a global cooldown on all the dishes after you've consumed it, so you won't be able to spam them during combat. If you want to regain small bits of HP, you can always eat uncooked types of food, which will not have a long cooldown. Eating raw meat or mushrooms will poison you, so definitely don't try this at home. Then last but not least, we also have some hidden treasures to discover, as well as blueprints which are gonna come in very handy from the early game. During your adventures, you will come across hidden chests and runestones which can be found all over the world of Arcana. They are usually hidden in plain sight and make a subtle sound when you get closer. This is what the runestone pillars look like, and once you activate them, you will be rewarded with a runestone, which can in return be spent at one of the shops in the starter area to unlock new items and blueprints. The merchant can be found in the southwest of the Cradle of Keepers starting area, exactly right here, also south from the portal. So if you talk to her, she will give you access to different items to unlock, but the most important one without doubt is the woven backpack. With the cost of 10 runestones, it's the most expensive item in the shop, but without doubt also the most useful one, as it adds 50 to your maximum carry capacity. This will allow you to gather so many more resources and get your hands on new loot before you start building your own base. Another currency which you can find are golden coins. These can be a reward from defeating humanoids, complete quests, or sometimes also found in hidden chests. While you can also use the gold coins to purchase rare materials like iron ore or head swag, I definitely recommend you to first prioritize all the blueprints in the game, as gold coins can be pretty difficult to come by, especially once you've raided all the chests. Alright, so that is pretty much everything you need to know to get started with the early access release of Frozen Flame. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like as it helps out the channel. Already very much appreciated. And of course, if you want to stay in the loop with my future videos for Frozen Flame, don't hesitate to subscribe as there is a lot more coming your way. Right now it's 4 AM out, so definitely make sure to let me know something in the comments down below if you have some new questions or suggestions about the game. I'm gonna make a lot more videos for it. So guys, a big thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Peace.